This will be a smooth, emotional, and passionate narrative. No parts, no breaks, just one continuous romantic flow that blends longing, tension, and intimacy. Here's the full story. I never thought moving into this quiet little suburban neighborhood would stir something deep inside me, something I'd buried for years. After my divorce, I promised myself I'd keep my heart locked away. Love had disappointed me once, and I wasn't ready to open that door again. At least that's what I believed. Until Ethan moved in next door. He was young, younger than me by nearly 8 years, with an easy smile that could melt even the hardest heart. I noticed him the first day he arrived, struggling with boxes and furniture under the late summer sun. I remember standing at my kitchen window, coffee in hand, watching him with quiet curiosity. His dark hair clung to his forehead, his white t-shirt damp from sweat, and his strong arms flexed effortlessly as he lifted another box. I told myself I was just being neighborly when I walked over and introduced myself. "Hi, I'm Claire. Welcome to the neighborhood," I said, forcing a polite smile. He returned it with one so warm, so genuine, it nearly stole my breath. "Ethan," he replied, extending his hand. "Thanks, Claire. It's nice to meet you." That night, I lay awake longer than I should have, wondering about him. I scolded myself. He was just a neighbor, nothing more. But then the days turned into weeks, and somehow, he kept finding little reasons to stop by. "Hey, Claire, do you know a good handyman around here? Claire, have you tried that cafe downtown? Claire, you should come see my new balcony lights. I'm terrible at decorating, I need your opinion." I kept my distance, or at least I tried to. But every time he laughed, every time his green eyes met mine, something inside me softened. Then came that night. It was raining, the kind of soft, endless drizzle that makes the world feel quieter, lonelier. I had curled up on the couch with a glass of red wine and an old romance novel, trying to escape my thoughts. But the silence of the house pressed in on me. I don't know why I did it, not really. Maybe it was the wine, maybe it was the rain, maybe it was the way my heart had been aching for months without me admitting it. I sent him a text. "Hey, are you busy?" A minute later my phone buzzed. "Not at all. What's up?" I hesitated before typing again. "Feel like coming over for a drink." There was no undoing it once I hit send. My stomach fluttered with nerves, but when his reply came almost instantly, "Be there in 5, I felt a rush of anticipation I hadn't felt in years. When he arrived, I opened the door to find him standing there, damp from the rain, a crooked smile playing on his lips. He wore a simple black hoodie and jeans, his hair slightly tousled, raindrops clinging to his lashes. "Wow," he said softly, glancing past me into the warmly lit living room. "Cozy night." I stepped aside and let him in, pretending to be casual even though my heart was racing. We talked at first about nothing really. Work, the neighborhood, random little stories. I poured him a glass of wine, and soon we were sitting close on the couch, the flicker of a single candle between us. Every time our shoulders brushed, a tiny current of electricity ran through me. At one point there was a pause, a quiet so deep it felt like the whole world was holding its breath. I looked at him, really looked, and something shifted between us. His eyes lingered on mine a little too long, and I knew he felt it too. "You know," he murmured, his voice low and warm, "I've been trying so hard not to overstep." My breath caught. "Overstep what?" He smiled faintly, almost shyly. "The line. You." And I didn't want to make things weird. I swallowed hard, my pulse pounding in my ears. "Maybe," I whispered, "some lines are meant to be crossed." The moment stretched, fragile and charged, and then he leaned in. Slowly, hesitantly, as though giving me every chance to pull away. I didn't. Our lips met softly at first, a gentle brush that sent shivers through me. But then the dam broke. Months of quiet longing, unspoken feelings, and lonely nights crashed over us. His hand slid to the small of my back, pulling me closer, and I melted into him, tasting the wine on his lips, feeling the warmth of his breath against my skin. Somewhere in the distance, thunder rolled, but here, in this little cocoon of candlelight and rain, nothing existed except us. He whispered my name like it was a secret, his fingertips tracing slow, reverent patterns along my arm. Every touch was electric, every breath heavy with unspoken desire. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't frantic. It was patient, deep, consuming. For the first time in years I felt seen, desired, alive. When we finally pulled apart, breathless, I rested my forehead against his. Neither of us spoke. We didn't need to. The air between us was thick with understanding, with the promise of something neither of us had planned but both of us wanted. "I should go," he said eventually, his voice rough as though the words cost him something. I nodded, though my heart ached at the thought. "Yeah, probably." He stood, hesitated, then looked down at me with that soft, lingering gaze that made my chest tighten. "Claire," he paused, searching for the right words, then finally whispered, "This isn't over. Not for me." I didn't trust my voice, so I just smiled faintly and walked him to the door. After he left, I leaned against the cool wood, my fingers brushing my lips, still swollen from his kiss. My heart was racing, my mind spinning, and I knew deep down that nothing would ever be the same again. In the days that followed, we didn't talk about that night. Not directly. But everything changed. The way he looked at me, the way I smiled without meaning to, the way my chest fluttered when I heard his footsteps outside my door. I don't know what the future holds for us. Maybe this will burn bright and fast, or maybe it will settle into something deeper, something lasting. But what I do know is that I stopped pretending that night. I stopped hiding from what I wanted, from what made me feel alive. And it all started with one lonely evening, one glass of wine, and a knock at my door. Sometimes, love doesn't announce itself with grand gestures or perfect timing. Sometimes it slips in quietly, in the spaces between longing and fear, and before you realize it, you're falling. He was just my new young neighbor, until I invited him in one lonely night. And now he's so much more.